Hello and good day. So, what is the value and point of insurance? The type of insurance I'm talking about today is generally the insurance that you go to a company and pay them to cover. For example, flood insurance, house insurance, renter's insurance, car insurance, and life insurance are pretty common insurances that a lot of people have. And if they don't, then they generally probably should, unless they are self-insured. Self-insurance is the general goal of what should be everybody, including for their financial freedom, also achieve self-insurance, meaning whatever the risk may be, your car being totaled, your family losing your personal income. If you have, enough put away, whether in savings or investments, then that won't be a problem, and you won't have to pay the cost to the company, whatever insurance company you have. Now, why is this more valuable? Besides the financial freedom aspect, the general idea is insurance companies have to make money. Otherwise, they just could not function if they did not make money. They're making money statistically. They're making more money based on what you pay them than what they pay out. So unless you're a person who has a significant likelihood, then they expect, compared to most people, of suffering from some kind of accident, then the insurance is generally going to cost you more than self-insurance. However, before you reach self-insurance, you are putting all the risk on somebody else when you cannot pay for it. Because even if over 10 years you're only likely to have, for an example, say over 10 years you're only likely to have one accident. That accident costing you $10,000. Now, these are mostly made up numbers here, but say you had the accident at the end of 10 years, then you could have probably self-insured and you wouldn't have to pay the payments, which, assuming, makes up more than that. Now, say it happened at the beginning of 10 years, and it happened 3 months in. You probably, if you don't have your self-insurance, or if you had 20/20 hindsight ability or perception, or then maybe the insurance would be, a cheaper route to go. But overall, obviously you cannot predict that what will happen, just that something is going to happen, and you don't want to take the risk, or not able to take the risk at this time. Eventually, the idea is that you will be able to self-insure $5,000 for your car, $1 million making $100K or more income based on, investments for your life insurance. And even then, some people would prefer to have life insurance on top of it. Just, you might as well have another couple $100,000 security in case something goes wrong. But, imagine your family, not besides the emotional aspect. Imagine your family having $1 million invested, making over $100K, then the likelihood that they're going to be alright is significantly higher, which is the point of life insurance, is to replace the income, generally speaking, 10 to 12 times whatever your personal income is, would be put to life insurance, and then same thing for your partner if you have one. But generally speaking, this is only for if you have dependents that require your income to live and be okay. Then by having 10 to 12 times your income, you could have that invested and clearly make more income, or make the same level of income that you had before, without having to, basically, self-insurance would mean you already have enough that you are financially free. and therefore your family would be perfectly fine, besides the emotional aspect. And similar thing with house insurance or renter's insurance. Although you could, based on the insurance, you can do the math for your own personal self, figure out what's more reasonable, what's more risky. And if you're living in a flood zone, then perhaps one thing or another might be better. But the overall idea is insurance has to make money off of you, and your best bet is eventually become self-insured. But that is the value of insurance, is to cover a risk that you cannot personally take. If your car were to crash tomorrow and you have to pay a $5,000 bill, you may need insurance for that instead of having to cover it for yourself. Or something happens, whatever the situation may be. And the point of insurance is to cover, the point of insurance is to cover that which you cannot cover, to take the risk that you cannot take for a fee. And that is the value and risk, the value and point. So hopefully this helps you guys understand the point of insurance, the goal of self-insurance. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. If you'd like to hear more content like this, feel free to subscribe, and have a good day.